Welcome back to a new video on my channel. I'm hoping you're doing fine. And today I want to give you an overview of my 3 top specs for the year 2022. Before I start, as always, the disclaimer: I'm not a financial advisor, and therefore this video is no financial advice and no request to buy or sell a stock or opinion. I'm also not responsible for any potential loss if you invest in any of the presented companies. And for full transparency, I'm invested in all 3 companies and therefore I'm biased, and keep that in mind before making any decisions. So I've chosen 3 companies and one which is still in the spec process. It's not merged yet. It's Polestar, which is merging with GGPI, Core Guggenheim, and it's a pure play EV company. And what I'm liking about this company is that they already delivered 29,000 cars in 2021. So in comparison to the Fiskars or other companies which haven't delivered any cars yet, they already have delivered quite substantial amount of cars, which means that it's kind of proven, at least they have taken the first step to prove that they can scale them. And this is, in my opinion, basically the reason, because they are a subsidiary of Volvo Cars, and therefore they have access to the know-how and also their facilities, which is a lot easier as if you have to build them on your own and also tweak it on your own. So therefore they have quite an advantage, in my opinion. And in the year 2022 they want to launch the Polestar 3, and they also want to add new markets. And I want to show you a few slides of their initial investor presentation. So as I mentioned before, it's Polestar 3 will be the new car. Therefore they have the Polestar 1, which is car which hasn't been not a lot of cars have been produced, and the Polestar 2, which is the main car right now, and then they want also to introduce new cars every year until 2024. And there's an overview of the different amounts of cars they want to produce and what the growth projects for the future will be. And on slide 23 you can see the different facilities and with the factory capacity, and you can see there are a lot of different facilities with a high amount of output, which means, in my opinion, it's quite likely that they can attain the goals for the delivered cars. And over here on slide 33 you can see the different models and which volume they expect per model. So something I want to have a look if these numbers sound at least somewhat reasonable, and if you compare Polestar 4 3 in this case, which should launch in 2023. They will sell 24,000 cars, and if you compare it to what they sold Polestar 2 right now, which is I think the first year in production, not sure about this, but it's pretty early, so this is somewhat comparable. And then the projections for the Polestar 2 for 2022 are 65k, and if you also compare these to the projections of the Polestar 3, it's around the same size. So I think it's quite reasonable, and if they can deliver, then I think this company will do pretty well. So this was the first company, and the next company is GENI Sports, and ticker symbol is GENI. So this is a duopoly with a sports radar for sports betting data, and since the sports betting market has been legalized only a few months ago in the US, a tailwind in the industry, and since these 2 companies have almost all revenue together, they will profit a lot. And GENI Sports also signed a 5-year contract with the NFL, which will boost the revenues in total. It's questionable if there will be a lot of profit. However, it's actually amazing that the NFL partners exclusively with GENI, and therefore I think it's really interesting. And one thing I also want to point out is the management, because I just jumped to the initial investor presentation. They guided around 30% compound annual growth rate, and they also delivered it in the past, which is something I'm always looking to or into, if they delivered it in the past or only have these huge projections in the future. And these projections are pretty linear, I'd say, and also only to the year 2022, so they don't project until 2030 or something, which other specs might do. So this was the first thing, and the other thing is something I'm really happy to see. There are a lot of new exclusive memberships with different leagues, a lot of smaller ones, but nevertheless they're still ongoing. There's a lot of news about new partnerships, either with leagues or also the strategic partnerships with sportbooks, and also, which I find quite interesting, with the in-stadia sports betting partnership with the Philadelphia Eagles. So this will also help to boost revenue. And this is from the Q3 2021 earnings. They are up 70%. However, it's from a really comparably low revenue number. So these numbers are high. It's okay. But what I want to point out is that they raised their 2021 revenue guidance, even though it's slightly, I think, if they can already predict that they can raise the full year guidance, then they should be pretty confident to beat these numbers. Yeah, and also with the sports still in able to visit the games and things, I think sport betting will be also better than last year, so this will help as well, I think. Okay, then last but not least, the last company, and basically I think this would be, if I have to choose one, this would be Sofi, since the quarterly business is profitable and they have fast-growing segments around it in the financial services like Galileo platform and also other financial services. So this is something I really like. It's kind of a little bit like maybe they have the goal of Amazon. They want to be the Amazon of fintech, so that they have a core segment which is profitable and then have different segments around which are fast growing and not profitable yet, but in the future will be profitable. They also do a lot of cross-selling of products because they want to be the one-stop shop for finance, for personal finance, which helps them to lower the marketing cost per user, which in my opinion is a good thing. And also I would really love to have a one-stop shop for personal finances, from loans to investing, and also for a place to store cash, at least some interest, if that's possible. And despite the pause of student loan repayment, they are on the grasp of profitability, and the pause should be finished, or the student loan repayment should be starting pretty soon, so this will also help the general earnings of the company. Another point which will probably boost the numbers in the next, probably next quarter, is the Super Bowl, which is hosted at SoFi Stadium on Sunday, so it's pretty soon, and looking forward to seeing the whole show and the whole game, but especially because I'm invested in SoFi, and this will bring a lot of media attention to the company, and I think this will help the general revenues in the future as well. And they also have a bank charter which will help to increase the margin and also make the the offers more attractive to the customers, since Anthony also said that they will, on the one hand, help or give the profits or the margin to the customer, as well as keep something so that they can increase their own margins. This is a win-win situation for all, and I think this would also help at least customer satisfaction and maybe attract new customers as well. And last, I also want to have a look at the management, because I really like what they are doing, because if you have a look, the company has a steady revenues, steady increase of revenues, which I really like, and also the adjusted EBITDA is about to be positive. In addition to that, the Q3 21 results compared to their guidance, and they beat the guidance quite a bit, despite the fact that they had the student loan paused. So this is something I think is really good, and makes me think that the projection they are either on the low side or they just outperformed them, and then they should also be able to outperform them in the future, which is positive either way. And the same for the Q4 guidance. I think they also raised it in general, and the full year guidance, they also raised it again. So this is something, I think is good and shows they know what they're doing, at least in my opinion, and I like it if they under deliver and overperform. So under promise and over deliver. So that's what I'm saying. Yeah. So what do you think about the companies? Is there anything you really like or maybe dislike on the companies, or would you have chosen other companies? Please let me know in the comments. I'm looking forward to your comments. Until then, all the best.